So I've really been enjoying the whole weirdness of online. I actually want to share a bit of a story that happened to me on Twitter. It was one of those situations where I was talking with somebody and I didn't know what their intentions were. I actually learned something from them, even though I didn't enjoy the conversation. I did learn. So there is something good about that. So essentially, what happened was I made a tweet talking about how people really need to make an attempt to be understood instead of trying to sound smart. And they left a comment that was anti-intellectualism versus pseudo-intellectual are the same side of the dumbass coin. That's what they said. Now, to be completely fair and honest with you guys, I didn't know the actual definition of pseudo-intellectualism. And I ended up having to look it up because I was like, oh god, I don't know what it means. But in the process of learning what it meant and looking online at their profile, I was like, are they like agreeing with me or are they just being a jerk? So I ended up looking at their profile. I found, for the most part, you will learn whether or not you want to interact with someone when you go to their account and you see how they interact with others. And I'm not joking. They had their IQ in their bio. Now, there's nothing wrong with being proud of an IQ, but an IQ is a measure of potential intelligence, not the actual level of intelligence that you have. And it was definitely like one of those things that I'm like, is this guy for real? And I ended up sharing it with my friends, and we all kind of agreed that it's like, what are they doing? It's just like, why would you put your IQ in your bio? That's such a weird thing to do. And what they did all day on Twitter was they were attacking conservatives or people that they didn't agree with politically. And I'm not going to tell you what to do with your time, but like, what's the point? Like, I'm a very like political person, even though I'm not the most intelligent person out there. I'm kind of just well-read, but that doesn't mean that I truly understand things. I'm only 30 years old. I don't understand politics as much as other people expect me to, or even people online who are into politics, they don't quite understand what it is they're saying. But I try to be honest about the fact that I don't know. Like, when I get heated in these types of things, I tend to just say stupid things. So lately I've tried to avoid it. Keanu Reeves said it best whenever he said, like, you tell me the sky is green, you're right, I believe you. He just, anything to avoid an argument. But it kind of like got to the point where I realized that was kind of the breaking point for me, when I realized sometimes you just don't need to interact with certain people online. Not for the sake of like your own sanity, but, well, to be fair, it's one of those things that like it's just best to not deal with that type of thing. You know what I mean? I to this day I can still get pretty heated about things. For example, in the past, whenever somebody would claim my work as AI, I would get like super upset and angry. And it makes sense why I would, because like I work super hard on what I make, and having people belittle that by saying that my work is the equivalent of typing in a bunch of keywords then hitting generate, you know, it definitely bothered me. But I've since kind of mellowed out with the whole thing, and I just don't care anymore. I know what I do, and I know that I'm learning, and I know that what I make is worth something to me, and other people like my work too. So it just turns into one of those things where it's like, you just gotta roll with the punches in life, you know? Like, I'm tired of being an angry person, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely like portray my nicer side online, but I'll be real, I have a side of me that gets angry. I can raise my voice, get very heated, so I have to kind of find a way to mellow out in life. And that's basically all I've really done in the past. And really in the past 2 years, I've kind of just calmed down. And I guess that's kind of what I would like to advise everyone do. Like, as you get older, you'll start to mellow out. You'll start to, like, just roll with it in life. And that's my advice to you. It's okay to be heated. It's okay to stand for something. Just make sure that what you're standing on isn't other people. And that's all I really wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it was kind of a rambly video with my thoughts, but thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.